I'm a really stoic person. I'm quite resilient. There are very few things that upset me. That does upset me. Because it strikes to who I am. And it's very personal to me. I'm a father. It affects my children. I'm not going to pretend it's not upsetting. Why do I say that? Look, politics. I have a huge amount of time for Rishi Sunak. He is our country's first Hindu Prime Minister. He is somebody who I think in years to come will continue to be a role model for young people from all backgrounds. And I say this in a respectful way, so please don't take me being offensive. If you close your eyes and listen to Sunak, he's like Jeeves and Wooster. I mean, he's quintessentially English. This
Vocal cords made a tweed.
I mean, this guy went to Winchester or Eton or Harrow, I've forgotten.
Winchester.
He went to Oxford. He was a banker, for goodness sake, and became a member of Parliament for the Conservative Party in William Hague's former seat. What else does Sunak have to do to prove his Englishness? He even got a damn Labrador, copying me, by the way. And so, let me the problem, Lewis, and the reason why it upsets me. How many generations of Khans or Sunaks do they need to be before we're considered English? Are we saying that because the colour of our skin will never be pale, we can never be English? Are we saying we've got to give up the religion that we belong to, be embarrassed of our ethnic origin? What is the consequence of this? And I say also we're an island. We're literally an island. And going back X thousand years, there weren't actually many human beings here. So actually, all of us are migrants to this island, whether you're Anglo-Saxon, Viking, Norman, Norman, Vikings, or from the subcontinent.
In a powerful and nuanced interview, London's Mayor, Sadiq Khan, addressed the increasingly contentious debate surrounding British identity, migration, and ethnicity. At the heart of Khan's remarks was a poignant question, challenging Britain's perception of itself. Are they saying that because the colour of our skin will never be pale, we will never be English? Mayor Khan's comments come amid heightened national conversations around immigration, multiculturalism, and what it means to be truly English. His statements highlight the deep and often unspoken tensions underpinning identity politics in modern Britain, exacerbated by political divisions, Brexit, and economic uncertainty. Generations of migration have enriched our nation, bringing diversity that has fundamentally reshaped our identity, Khan stated firmly. Yet, for many whose heritage does not trace back exclusively to these shores, a feeling persists that their Britishness is constantly questioned. Critics swiftly accused Khan of overstating the issue, suggesting that concerns around migration and integration do not necessarily equate to racial prejudice. Yet his words resonated deeply with many British citizens who have experienced the persistent undercurrent of exclusion or conditional acceptance in contemporary British society. Political commentators note that Khan's intervention seeks to push back against the simplistic narratives that dominate debates around migration and identity. He suggests that Britain's future depends on embracing a broader, more inclusive definition of nationality, one that acknowledges and values multicultural heritage, rather than seeing it as a barrier to national belonging. Khan's reflections challenge political leaders and society alike to confront difficult truths about diversity, belonging, and identity. As the nation navigates an uncertain post-Brexit landscape, his comments invite a critical re-examination of what it truly means to be English, and whether Britain's national identity can evolve to authentically represent all its citizens.
Look, just because it's Pancake Day, this is just a fun question, I promise. What is your favourite topic?
My favourite topping, it's got to be chocolate. Yes.
Controversial!
Sorry, it's got to be chocolate.
Okay.
I am.
Well done. Thank you for coming.
No, my pleasure.
Oh, hi, Kelly.
Hello. Can't eat taxes, this is true.
Oh, Kelly.
It's a good sign, because you can't. Hello. We need as much support as possible so that this issue doesn't disappear. We can't let people forget what's going on. Yes, well, we are behind you 100%. And once we get the opportunity, we'll reverse it. Need me to drive it anywhere? Yeah.
No.
Okay. All right.
Give us a wave.
I have asked several times the Prime Minister's questions about reversing this tax.
Yeah.
Certainly Conservatives will reverse it at the first chance we get. There are farmers who are actually talking about ending their lives. Just unbelievably extraordinary because they're worried about this.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important that the Prime Minister and his entire cabinet, they need to understand the consequences. Absolutely. I'm not going to fall in front of all these people. Trust me. They need to reverse the changes they made in the budget. They really do. This is one of the most important campaigns that we are fighting. The family farms tax is an immoral tax that Labour has imposed on farmers. And at a time when we are looking at national security, food security is a critical part of national security. We should not be putting any additional burdens on farmers across the country. There we go.
Amid rising tensions over agricultural policy, Kemi Badenoch joined farmers yesterday in Westminster, publicly condemning what she termed the government's damaging tax on agriculture and pledging its swift reversal. There is no national security without food security, Badenoch asserted to applause from protesting farmers, gathered to voice their frustration against tax hikes, threatening the stability of British agriculture. The protest highlighted deepening fissures between the farming community and Prime Minister Keir Starmer's administration, which farmers argue is imposing an unsustainable tax burden during an already challenging economic climate. Badenoch, positioning herself squarely on the side of the agricultural sector, accused Starmer of taxing a vital industry into the ground, calling the move economically reckless and strategically short-sighted. There is no national security without food security, Badenoch asserted to applause from protesting farmers, gathered to voice their frustration against tax hikes threatening the stability of British agriculture. The protest highlighted deepening fissures between the farming community and Prime Minister Keir Starmer's administration, which farmers argue is imposing an unsustainable tax burden during an already challenging economic climate. Badenoch, positioning herself squarely on the side of the agricultural sector, accused Starmer of taxing a vital industry into the ground, called the move economically reckless and strategically short-sighted. Farmers aren't just the backbone of our rural economy, Badenoch told the crowd. They're essential to our national resilience. This tax jeopardizes both livelihoods and our long-term security. Amid rising tensions over agricultural policy, Kemi Badenoch joined farmers yesterday in Westminster, publicly condemning what she termed the government's damaging tax on agriculture and pledging its swift reversal. There is no national security without food security, Badenoch asserted to applause from protesting farmers, gathered to voice their frustration against tax hikes threatening the stability of British agriculture. The protest highlighted deepening fissures between the farming community and Prime Minister Keir Starmer's administration, which farmers argue is imposing an unsustainable tax burden during an already challenging economic climate. Badenoch, positioning herself squarely on the side of the agricultural sector, accused Starmer of taxing a vital industry into the ground, calling the move economically reckless and strategically short-sighted. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment below, subscribe, and join our Telegram group for exclusive updates.